Welcome to today's class. This is called Soul Fuel, and this is meant to be this soulful juice that connects you to your power, that mobilizes your joints, that frees up tension, and just leaves you with this magical kind of feeling of freedom in the body. And that's what we want in our body as a way of getting this feeling in our soul and spirit as well. You'll need 2 blocks. That'll help. If you don't have them, you can use your fingertips when I say be on blocks. We're going to lie on our back, and we'll start with the block, 1 block between our thighs, and it can be the medium or thin way. And if you need something under your skull, if your chin is really sticking up, use a towel or something, because we want to feel the back of the skull with the chin just neutral. Not aggressively dropping down toward the throat, but lengthening. So imagine a line through the center of your body as being stretched. That's what we call our triple S, the back of our skull, the back of the scapula or shoulder blades, and then this lower part, the sacrum. Make sure your feet are far enough apart and far enough away. So sometimes people will bring their feet too close. We want our feet as good levers so that the hands, when your hands are on your front ribs, you can push into the feet and lift without the pelvis moving toward your chest at all. This is a low bridge, and we want to wake up the center of the body, the glutes, the pelvic floor, stabilize through the rest of the core, and then wake up the legs as well. So keep your hands on your front ribs as just a reminder, as feedback to hold the ribs steady, and then we'll lower and lift slowly. So they give your brain and body time to connect to this action. So when we're giving our body this soul fuel, sometimes it's the movement that is innately there, but we have developed compensations over time. And we can always come back to this on the floor, especially where we get all this feedback. So press into the feet and lift. And let's do that 2 more times. And then when you stay up at the top here, the ribs stay stable, but we're going to take this left pelvic half and just dip it a little bit to the floor and then come back up. And then the right pelvic half a little bit. So what we're trying to do is free up some of the tension that can reside, we'll go left and right, around the low back, but we're not tilting the pelvis to shorten the low back. So it's just a tiny move, but a lot of awakening in your glutes, in your pelvic floor. So we're going to the right. I'm not going all the way to the ground. It's just a little movement there, a lot of activity, a lot of waking up. So 1 more to the left, and then 1 more to the right. And then we'll hold it here, and you can lift and spread your toes apart. Bring your hands up in the air like you're holding a tray. Let your right hand grab your left fingers and pull back. And as you do that, imagine that center line. You're inhaling and stretching it long without lifting off the floor with the back, but holding that position. And then we'll stretch out the right wrist. Inhale. So I'm almost purposely pushing the mid-back into the floor. Then let's lower the toes and then slowly start to walk the spine down using your front body to control. And then we'll come all the way to the floor here. Now we're going to take this block and place it under your left foot. Your left foot is elevated, your right foot's on the floor. Cup your skull and the elbows come in. Inhale. As you exhale, we're going to lift up, but not lifting your head first. So you can always have your hand, 1 hand on the front ribs. We'll press into the front ribs and lift up. I'm not curling up. I'm leaning my head back, just getting enough up that I can feel the abdominals. And we could feel the left foot is in a different position, but we're still holding this waistband strong. Inhale and lower. Exhale and lift up. And I'm going to hold the sacrum down. So you can put your fingers right above the pubic bone and then float the left foot up. It's harder than you think. And then lower that foot. And then try that 1 more time. I'm going to float it up without any pushing of the belly up. Lower the foot. Inhale and lower. Now, if you found that was really hard to do without the abdominals wanting to push up, you can try this instead. We lift up and then just try lifting the heel a little bit.
and lowering. So that's another option, or floating. And then inhale. So what we're doing is getting the responsiveness of the core. Exhale, lift. That's part of our soul fuel, is get that responsiveness. Lift the left foot or lift the left heel and lower and lift and lower. Inhale and lower. We're going to do that one more time. And exhale and lift. So either the heel or the whole foot, but I'm just a little float. And then lower and lift and then lower. And then as we lower our head, we'll slide that block over so it's on underneath the right foot. All right, so again, let's lift up. You can use your hand on your front ribs and just pause there and feel that your sacrum, which is right above and between your butt cheeks, is on the floor. And then inhale and lower. Exhale and lift. You can put some fingers right above the pubic bone because that kind of goes right into the sacrum, and then we'll try that feeling of lifting the heel or floating the foot and lowering and lifting and lowering, and then inhale and lower. Now it's normal to feel the whole circumference of the core. Exhale, lift. So all through the body and around, we'll lift either the heel or the foot and lower and lift and lower. This is really good when you're starting to figure out, especially like postnatal, or if it's been a while since you've been able to work your abdominals in a way that's responsive and not doming. Let's bring the right foot up. And it can be just the heel and up, holding that sacrum steady, and then lower. And that's where you start to feel all that deep stuff, I'm hoping. Okay, that's part of that soul fuel. Let's bring, we're going to keep our right hand, we're coming into quadruped, the right hand is on the block, and I'm not going to let that forearm spin. It stays stable. I'm pulling the energy like I'm pulling the air in a tire up into the shoulders. It's not down into the wrist. This left arm can start to swing. And so we want to feel that we're giving our shoulder space to swing, reaching through the pinky side, and not letting that right forearm spin. So training all these different aspects to happen. The right hand stays down, the left arm by the ear. And then we're going to reach for this left pinky and grow that arm a little bit forward, and then start to bring it over to the right. And as you do that, we're not letting the pelvis move. We're opening into this left side ribs, and then bring it back to where it was before, push into the right hand, and then reach forward, and bring it over to the right, and keep lifting the front ribs just enough to open into the left side, and then come back. And then we'll do the other side. By the way, you can always, if you are fine without using, you can use a block or not. The blocks are super effective for a lot of reasons. Let's start swinging the right arm, but you can always choose not to use them. We don't want this elbow pushing forward. That's usually an indication of the forearm is spinning. So I'm pushing into my finger pads, holding the spine long. This last time we'll hold this right arm forward, reach for the right pinky side, and then reach over to the left, opening into this right side, and then come back, and then reach the pinky over to the left. So this left arm's working really hard to help stabilize so that right side can get some space last time, and over. And we will bring our hands on blocks. We're going to hover the knees, pick the knees up, and then walk your blocks back for a happy squat. And turn your blocks the high setting, no matter what. I would use this anyway, even if I have the flexibility, because it's going to help my spine stay long. And you can see it somewhat resembling the quadruped feeling, but we're going to wake up the legs a little bit. You want to feel the weight even between your big toe, your pinky toe, and your heel. People talk about the four corners, but really we want to think of the foot as a tripod. And then we're pulling the energy up into the legs, not letting the pelvis sink down from there. So I'm just getting the legs really juiced up here. Okay, so from here, I just want you to get this kind of bouncy feeling and step your right foot forward a little bit, and then back, and then left foot forward and back. So what we're again trying to do is find this nimbleness, this responsiveness of the brain-body coordination. I'm going to pick up one leg,
but keep everything steady. And then you can try and bring that right foot a little bit more outside the block. Just see how far it can go. And you can even add a little bit of a lift of that back heel, like a weight shift. And even though I have my hands on blocks, I'm not going down into them. I don't want to put all that weight into my wrist, but I'm trying to pull it up into the core. So just getting this weight shifting one more time each way. You can end up however you want it to be, whether it's the shorter one or the out to the side. And then from here, let's come onto our knees, and we're going to flip the blocks here. If you need a little circle of your wrist, you can always do that. You want to bring your hands on the blocks and then pull that energy up again. We're coming into down dog. So the way up on the toes and the way you get this weight out of the hands is I'm lifting up into my shoulders, keeping the head in front a bit, and big breath in here. You can stay here, or if you want to work some shoulder muscles like you would if you were going in a dolphin, you can start to bend the elbows just a little bit and then straighten. You're also absolutely fine to stay with the elbows straight and down dog, but we'll just do 2 more of these. The elbows are bending, the head doesn't change, and controlling that movement. Last breath there. Okay, we're going to bring the left foot forward, lower the right knee. You can bring that right knee on a block, and we'll take ourselves into this low lunge here and reach the arms up, and you can open up your palms are facing up toward the ceiling and open up the fingers. So you're stretching out the wrist in a different way. While you're doing that, pressing the heels up, try and draw the pelvic contents up. Lift that energy out of the block so that you're not sinking into the block, but unloading that weight a little bit. So everything's lifting, getting that soulful feeling of that holistic connection in space. Now we're going to take our blocks again, and this could be where you're on fingertips, but I'm going to use blocks. We'll lift the right knee up, and we're on our fingertips. So the shoulders are, I'm trying to get the shoulders a little bit over the wrist, but they're slightly behind to start off with. So when I rock on the right toes, they get to move over. And the key here is to try and hold this pocket of space in the left hip crease. So if having your hands on blocks is still making you round, you can also have your hands on the thighs and then feel like you're picking up. You're not sinking the pelvis down onto the thighs. So we're rocking the right toes. We're getting that energetic lift up through the pelvic floor. And we'll do that 2 more times. And then step the right foot next to the left, but hip distance apart and a little behind the blocks. So remember that happy squat move. We're just going to pulse here a bit. And then we're going to load the right foot and come up and lift the left heel. So similar to what we were doing on the floor with the abdominals. And then we're going to come down, pulse a few times, and then push into the floor. And as you come up, chest stays open. I'll lift the right heel up. And then I'll hinge, pulse a few times, so feeling the weight in the legs, not into the joints, push down into the right foot and lift the left heel, or you can start to lift the left foot. And then lower and pulse a few times. Load the left foot, come up, so spine stays straight, load the left foot, lift the right heel or float it a little bit. Lower, we're going to do 1 more. Pulse a few times. Push down, come up. Left heel or left leg up, get really tall. And then we'll bring the left toes behind. We'll take the blocks with you if you need them. I'll take 1 for a twisted crescent at the back of the mat. So I'll bring the right hand on the block, right toes, and then the left arm up. Push into those finger roots. So you're really, again, lifting up, giving your back space, your hip space. 1 more breath here.
And then we'll turn for goddess. So turn right, you're facing west, and goddess. Hands are on the pelvis, pick up your toes and just turn the feet out. So it might not be a big turnout here. And then hold the pelvic halves. And we're just going to pulse. So legs again, feeling it, pelvic floor, feeling it, energy. Remember the triple S, stretching the spine up. So it's not how low you go. It's really not letting the knees go in or the ribs go forward. Then we're going to hold it here and just lift the right heel and then the left heel. And as you're mobilizing the foot and ankle, pelvis stays steady. Two more. And then we'll turn it to the front of the mat. So you can grab the block. We'll lower this left hip. Lower the left hip. We're going to bring the right knee on top and the left forearm comes down. Now you can have your right hand on a block. So I'll kind of face you. This is what you're doing, facing east. To use this block as you press into the floor, but we're primarily working from the left forearm, which is in the left shoulder, and then the left lower leg. So the left lower leg, the both feet are active. I'm pushing. I'm not letting that foot just kind of hang out. And we're holding the pelvis. If you want to float the right knee up a little bit, but we really want that left lower leg and the left shoulder muscles working along with the core. One of my favorite moves to do regularly, lights up, awakens the body in a big way. Two more. And then from here, we'll use that block to pop up a little bit. On that left hand, come all the way around for quadruped with the right hand on a block. Reach the left arm forward and then back and forward. Stay here and we do our side bend over. Whoa, that grew a lot this time. And then coming back here. Left hand down, down dog. And you can stay like that or try 3 of those elbow bends, holding everything steady. So as I bend the elbows, they don't wing out to the side. They're just staying parallel. And then step the right foot forward. Left knee on the block. We're coming into the slow 90-90. So ribs are in, arms up, palms open up, fingers reach out. And then I press the heel of the hand up and kind of scoop pelvic contents up. So siphoning it all up into that triple S. Just watch the chin. Just try and keep the back of the neck long. And the arms can always be forward if the shoulders don't feel good, or the elbows can be bent out to the side and goalpost. Here comes our fingertip or block lunge. So blocks are in front, spine is long, and we start rocking. And we want to feel that we could keep a tray balanced on the mid back so there's not any tipping into the pelvis. Working the left foot and toes. This is hard when you have the beginning of any kind of bunion here or stiff foot, but stiff toes, but try your best to keep it moving. Last time, we'll step that left foot and we'll feet are parallel and get a couple bounces in here. So as you can see, my knees aren't going forward. I'm trying to go back into my glutes, and then I'm going to stand up on the right foot, left heel lifts or left foot lifts. Balancing, hinging, 3 pulses, and then load the left foot. Spine stays long, lift the right heel or right hip comes up. And spine is long, going back into the hips. 3, 2, 1. Load the right foot. Pushing into the right toe pad to help you balance as this left heel or leg comes up. Bump. And loading the left foot. Right leg comes up. And then we'll slide the right toes back. You can, this time I'm not going to take the block with me just to show you a twisted crescent. Left hand can be down, left hand can be on the right thigh. So the right arm is up if my left hand's on the thigh, and I'm lifting my leg up into that, versus sinking down. It's not about how much you turn. It's really about how much the spine is long and the turn is really pure. One more breath. We'll turn to the left. Here is for facing east for our goddess. Hands are on the pelvis and I'm hugging in. Spine is tall. Pulse a few times. Feeling again, muscles taking on the load versus the joints. And then we'll stay here and lift the right heel. And then left. Right. Left. One more. And turn to the front of the mat. Lower the right hip, right hand, right hip. Stack the left hip on top. Right forearm comes down. I'm making a fist here. Left hand on the block. Push down. So you can use your left hand to aid you, but you can also float it. You can also use your left hand here. But watch this right foot. It's not like if it's inactive, it's going to go into your knee. The blade of the right foot is the big, like you're pushing off, pushing from there. Two more. And then we'll pop up on the right hand. Place the block as we turn for quadruped. And then that right arm will swing forward and back. Forward, back. We'll hold it forward. Reach, side bend. See if that's opened up some. Okay, we're going to do all this one more time. And come into your down dog. And let's bend the elbows. Bend the elbows. Hold everything out steady. Your hands could be on the floor, by the way. We're going to skip our 90-90 and step that left foot, come into our fingertip or block lunge. We're going to rock 3 times. 3, 2, 1. Step the right foot in, load the right foot, rise right on up with the left heel lifting or left leg lifting. We're going to come back into our hinge, slide the right leg back. I'm holding this left side of the pelvis up. 3, 2, 1. Step, push into the right foot, lift the left heel or come all the way up. I'm getting tall, tall, tall. Lower, hinge. You can always put your hands on your ribs to help out. Right toes back. 3, 2, 1. Step, load, rise up. And last one. 3, 2, 1. Step, push down through the fullness of the right foot, lift, and then the left toes come back. You can take your block. I'll show you how you take it for your twisted crescent. And hold this. That's it. And only if it feels right, start to just play around with bending and straightening. It's not very much of much movement, but we're just coaxing the back of the legs to get a little less tense. 2 more. And then we'll turn it to the right, facing west for our goddess. All right, so let's pulse here. Chest is up. Legs are feeling like they're working, and then we're going to hold it down. Lift the left heel. Now internally rotate that left hip. Look, the pelvis doesn't move. Come back. Lower the heel. Right heel lifts. Internally, I'm turning from the thigh, not turning the pelvis. Left heel up. So it could be just that amount. And right heel up. We want this freedom of movement in the hip. This is like real soulful. Is being able to move these hips without always moving the pelvis or the low back. Last time, we'll turn it to the front. We're going to lower this left hip. It's a nice transition to get down, so take your time. You can have your right hand on the right thigh and push down and lift, and then you can float that right leg up and then lower. Look, that left foot is flexed. I'm pushing down. You can also use your right hand on your left inner knee to just give that feedback to the left leg. If you're just lifting a little bit, hey, that's okay. I've seen a lot of people who can barely lift or not clear, but just with time and the communication to the brain, they get it. One more. And this time, keep turning to your right. Bring your right hand down. Lift your left arm up. You can bend. You can lift a little bit if that feels good, or you can just simply stay here. The beginning of a table. Really, the right scapula is eventually what's going to help get you in the front of this pelvis, but you can start to get that feeling. We'll come around right into our quadruped, knees down. This time the left arm comes forward. It's going to side bend to the right, and we're going to pivot the feet over to the right. You can stay like that, or you can bring your left hand onto a block. The fingers will be facing to the east, and then just get a little cat action here. You can even play with how that frees up along the back body. And then we'll come around. Let's come into our down dog. And then bend the elbows, or keep it straight and just keep the head in front of the arms. Core is engaged. Then we'll step the right foot forward. Just pivot our blocks. So we've got lots of space in this right hip crease. We're going to rock for 3, 2, step, load the left foot, come up, right heel can lift, right leg can lift. We hinge, lower with that control, left toes back, rock from the toes without losing that right pelvic half, step, load. This is what we want, this holistic, energized, integrated body. 3, 2, 1, load, and lift. One more, and chest stays open. 3, 2, 1, step, we'll lift, and we'll take it to the back of the mat. You can take your block with you for twisted crescent. Left hand down, right arm up, but everything lifts. I'm not trying to look up at the ceiling. I'm just releasing my neck and then playing around with a little bend and straighten, only if that feels good. If it rounds you, then just keep this feeling of lift. And then we'll open to the left. Here's our goddess. And pulse a few times. Make sure that your knees aren't dropping in. Spine feels nice and tall. We'll stay down at the bottom. Lift the right heel. Internally rotate. Lower the heel. Left heel. Internally rotate. And right heel lifts. Turning. So nothing else moves. Pelvis stays steady. And turn. One more each way. And heel lifts. And we lower, we'll turn to the front, lower the right hand, right hip. We love to get to the ground. It's so good for us. Left forearm on the floor. Remember, right forearm on the floor. Left hand can be on the inner knee, so that's one way to help. It can be on the top leg. It can be on the block. So the block can help if you have a hard time on that initial lift off. Down and up. Down and up. It will get better. Don't give up on this. It never feels easy, by the way, but it will get better, the coordination. Last one. Keep turning to the left, and that left hand can face toward the front of the mat. The right arm come up. We're just going for lift. Up through the pinky, and then maybe loading the feet if that feels right, if you've done this before. But that scapula's got to hold you. And then we'll all turn around back to the mat. So turn to your right and quadruped. The right arm reaches forward and back. And then forward. We'll side bend over to the left. Keep pressing into the left hand. Swivel your feet over to the left. And then you can bring this right hand to face this over to the west. So it's perpendicular to the left. And then we just can play around with a little cat and cow. And let's come back, move the blocks out of the way, right into quadruped, and feet come down back into plank. And we'll lower we'll lower the knees and then all the way to the floor. Let's do a cobra here. So press the scapula into the back, lift your guts up, chest is open. You can have your toes tucked or toes tucked under, whatever feels right for you. But I do both. And then we'll lower. Let's do that again.
So we'll lift up. The back muscles help lift us. The hands just secure our foundation so that our scapula, shoulder blades can push into the back, opening the chest, and then lower. One more. We'll lift up. I'm securing the core in the front, feeling that energy, and then lower. And then we'll just bring our forehead onto the hands and rock. And then from here, you can go about your day. You can always take a few moments and just a quiet state of stillness, shavasana. You can bring your blocks under your thighs. But if you're wanting to take this soul fuel and move through the day, go through it right now. Whatever feels good. But I hope that you feel more connected, more energized, and like you've just had a nice shot of soul juice. Keep coming back for more. Thank you so much for joining me today. From my heart to yours, namaste.